Okay, I've got 7:05, so we're going to get it started. Good evening, folks. Welcome to the West Rock Hill Township Board of Supervisors meeting of 15 September 2021. For those new to the meetings, I'm David Collingwood, Chairman of the Board of Supervisors. I'm joined by fellow supervisor, Mr. Jim Miller, Vice Chair, and hopefully later member, Mr. Jay Kaiser. I'll call tonight's meeting to order with the Pledge of Allegiance. To the flag. There we go. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
to the republic
for which it stands,
one
one
nation,
nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, this meeting is being held virtually and will be recorded. At its conclusion, Mr. Lippincott will post the meeting on the Township's YouTube channel. A link to the meeting can be found on the Township website at www.westrockhilltownship.org. I'd like to remind everyone that we will be following the West Rock Hill Township policies for public meetings and the rules that apply as listed on page 2 of the meeting agenda. Please silence your cell phones and mute your computers until you wish to speak. Having said that, are there any public comments on the agenda items as they are listed? If so, please state your name and address. Hearing none, we'll move on to announcements. The Board of Supervisors will have an executive session following tonight's meeting to discuss legal and real estate matters. With that, we'll move to the consent agenda. The consent agenda includes the August 18th, 2021 meeting minutes, the wind plan review status, escrow, release, and vouchers, the emergency services report, the building zoning and building permit report, public works report, conservation committee report, joint rec authority report, pro-con Mylars for signature, and resolution 2021-7, emergency disaster declaration for tropical storm Ida, and the treasury report and payment of bills. Mr. Lippincott, I would like if you would detail just the resolution 2021-7 and then review the treasurer's report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The first is a resolution that the board ratified for emergency disaster just now. What it does is it allows the township to apply for federal funds for damages that we sustained on South Tower Road, on Twin Lows Road, on West Branch Road, and on numerous different washouts on roads where there's pipe. We have a whole list of them. We submit them to Bucks County Emergency Management. The county gets together with Pennsylvania Emergency Management and FEMA, and then we apply for disaster relief through the federal government to fix those issues.
Thank you. Very good.
Now I'll go over the treasurer's report ending August 31st, 2021. The general fund, $1,140,584.56. Highway aid, $237,036.05. Open space, $1,182,537.05. The park fund, $36,053.18. The equipment fund, $33,994.67. Highway capital, $129.74. Street light, $37,207.02. General reserve fund, $396,392.90. The American Rescue Plan funds, $273,254.70. Open space Manderfield, $51,377.48. Sewage maintenance fund, $182,656.29. The stormwater fund, $8,827.43. And the escrow funds, $2,379,520.66.
Thank you, Mr. Lippincott. Are there any comments and or questions by any members of the Board of Supervisors?
I have no comments on anything that Mr. Lippincott spoke about, but I would like to mention that the Joint Rec Authority did not meet this month because we were one short of a quorum when we met to meet. But I did turn in all the financial data, and I also turned in the previous month's minutes and all the other information I normally turn in. So it is in the packet, but we did not have a meeting. So there's no other report for tonight. That's why it's up there. Thank you. And
Thank you.
Yeah.
May I have a motion?
I will make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I will second that motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Consent agenda is approved as presented. Confirmed appointments, we have none. We'll move on to the committee reports, and we'll start with the Planning Commission report with Mr. Chris Durstein.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, everyone. Planning Commission met last night. We had one applicant. It was Hamburger Roofing and Sheet Metal on Anna Lane off of the old 309 there. They're in a PC2 district. They're looking to construct a 2,000 square foot addition to an existing building. Basically to store material. I think their business is growing and they need to stock more material. So they want to build this addition to stock their material, store the material. It's a G4 use contractor service. The addition is planned to be in an area of the parking lot, so there would be no additional impervious surface. The plan was pretty clean and simple. They just asked for a waiver of curb and sidewalk, which Planning Commission members were comfortable with. So we voted to recommend preliminary final for these guys. So they will most likely be in to see you next month. They weren't able to clean everything up in one night to come in today. So that is really all I have. I did see on a consent agenda that you have Mylars to be signed for ProCom to Planning Commission. Do you need Planning Commission member signatures on those?
Yes, we do.
All right. Yeah, I have to jump off the meeting after my report, so I just want to make that clear or make that known. Something else I wanted to ask, and I forget. Anyway, I would like to thank Linda for getting or draft the minutes out as quickly as she did. They really do help for me for my report, so I do appreciate the effort that she puts forward too. So that is my report. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them. If not, say goodbye.
I attended the meeting, the very short meeting, and
Yeah.
I have no questions.
I also attended the meeting, the shortest meeting on record, I believe. I have no questions. I will make a motion to approve the Planning Commission report.
I will second.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Planning Commission report is approved. We'll move on to the Park and Rec report. Mr. David Rice.
Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? All right, Park and Rec. So we are looking forward to September Fest. Hopefully, we do not get canceled like we did for our movie in the park night. That was kind of a bummer, but I think it was ultimately the right decision as the rain came in about 8:30, and everybody would have been sitting there watching a movie between the electronics and all the screening and all that stuff, wrapping that up. Just would have been a mess with the rain. So we're hoping and praying gonna have some good weather. September 26th. It's a Sunday afternoon, 12 a.m. or 12 p.m. to 5. September Fest. I heard really good rumors that Ferris and Fifi might be there from the Iron Pigs. So if you want to spread the word is out. There's lots of good things. We got food trucks this year. We got a couple food trucks coming this year, and a lot of good events. So it'd be great to see everybody out there and show your support for the community, because it's gonna be a great day. I feel sunshine on the radar. I think for September Fest, that should be all. Greg, we're going to work on our budget for 2022 in the October meeting. We ran out of time with all the conversations in September Fest in our meeting this past last week. So apologize, didn't get it to you quite yet, but we'll get it on October's meeting. And Just one request, if we have any idea of about the glass cases in the admin building, if we have a date or anything, because we're starting to gather some items and we're collecting them, but we don't want to put them in the admin building since we do meet in there. It's kind of a reminder every time we go in there. So
I have a meeting set up with the Historical Society for September 21st.
oh, perfect. Okay, that sounds great. I appreciate that. That is all I have for tonight.
Any comments or questions by Mr. Miller?
I have none, and I'll make a motion to approve the Park and Rec report.
Thank you. I'll second that motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Mr. Rice. The Park and Recreation report is approved as presented.
Thank you very much.
Commission reports. Chief Dickerson.
Good evening, everyone. I have the September meeting report for the August activity for the Pennant Regional Police Department. In the month of August 2021, we responded to 920 calls for service. Of those calls, 370 of them were in East Rock Hill Township. The remaining 550 were in West Rock Hill Township. The department handled 17 traffic crashes. 9 of those crashes were in East Rock Hill. The remaining 8 were in West Rock Hill. 5 were reportable and 12 were non-reportable. As far as criminal activity goes, we had 5 Part 1 crimes and 16 Part 2 crimes in the month of August, totaling 21 total crimes. East Rock Hill reported crimes: 1 theft of a motor vehicle, 2 fraud reports, 1 criminal mischief to a vehicle report, and a disorderly conduct report. West Rock Hill crimes, we had an aggravated assault with a knife, thefts, 2 of them, 1 narcotics complaint, possession of drug paraphernalia, a DUI, disorderly conduct, harassment, trespass. Local ordinance violations were 1 for scattering rubbish and 1 for a dog law violation. Criminal charges for August 2021, 1 charge of possession of drug paraphernalia, 1 driving on suspended driver's license, 1 simple assault arrest, 1 disorderly conduct charge, 1 harassment charge, and 2 DUI charges. Our officers conducted 281 traffic enforcement details, and 29 of those details were on Old Bethlehem Pike. 7 traffic citations were issued and 45 written warnings. We also conducted 482 business checks in August. So far for the year, we have 6,322 calls for service, 165 traffic accidents, 263 yearly offenses, and 80 criminal charges for the balance of 2021. And that would be our report for August 2021 activities.
Thank you, Chief Dickerson. Any comments or questions by Mr. Miller?
Thank you, Chief. That was a good report, and I have no questions.
Okay, then I would make a motion to approve the police report as presented.
I'll make a second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, the police report will be approved as presented. We'll move on to the engineering report. Mr. Bala.
I'm sorry, you skipped the tax collector?
I so apologize to Mr. Clark. Thank you, Mr. Miller. Tax collector's report. It happens to everyone.
Mhm. And it's such a long one, you're going to blink and it's over. I've only collected $473.24 for the month of September. Pretty uneventful at this time until final notices go out. I don't expect too much for the next couple of weeks. And that's all I got.
My, oh my, do we even have to approve that?
No, you could have skipped me. It didn't really matter.
But you probably collected a boatload of money in August. So.
Yeah, right. I will make a motion to approve the tax collector report.
I will second that. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Tax collector's report is approved as presented. Again,
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry, Mrs. Clark. We'll move on to the engineer's report. Mr. Bala, your turn finally.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. There's one item listed on the report. That's the Select Properties Ridge Road subdivision completion. If everyone remembers, that's 4 lots off of Ridge Valley Road. It's a shared driveway right before the S bend. Sort of, the plan's been hanging around for years and years and years, but finally complete. They've submitted all the required paperwork, and we're recommending that the board accept the project as complete and start the required 18-month maintenance period. And with that, we'd ask you to approve reducing the escrow down to the 15% retainage, which is held through the maintenance period.
Okay, I will make a motion to approve the completion and also lowering the escrow.
And I will second that motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. You have your approval, Mr. Mulla.
Okay, thank you. And just one other thing to note, we have completed the road paving project. We're just finalizing all the paperwork for that, but all the work has been completed.
Great.
Good job.
That's all I have.
Okay.
Okay, I'll make a motion then, if there's no comments, to approve the engineer's report as presented.
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Miller. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Engineer's report is approved as presented. Then we'll move on to the solicitor's report. Solicitor Ellerby.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. There's two items under the solicitor's report this evening. The first is the approval resolution for the Solicitor Farm, which you reviewed 3 or 4 months ago. They have advised that they're still not ready to proceed this evening, so a motion to table that matter would be appropriate.
I'll make a motion to table.
I will second that motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. You have it. Solicitor.
Thank you. The second item is the development agreements for the Procon roofing project. This started out several years ago as the Westco project. It is now the Procon roofing project. We have development agreements that are signed by the applicant. The let's see if I can go through these. The first one is the development agreement, which outlines the rights and responsibilities of the applicant with regard to not only construction details, but financial security and inspections as they proceed through the project. That's a quite lengthy document. So the second document is a memorandum of the development agreement. That's a 1 or 2 page agreement that we record to let people know that there is a development agreement out there, but it costs several $100s less to record the memorandum of development agreement than it does to record the development agreement. The third agreement that we have is a holding tank agreement. The property is going to be served by a holding tank. You have a holding tank ordinance that requires that the applicant execute a holding tank agreement and provide financial security to make sure that the holding tank is properly emptied and maintained. That escrow is in the amount of $1,000. And then finally, there is a stormwater management agreement, which is required of all land developments anymore. There are several other agreements that don't require the board signature, such as declaration of covenants and easements to take care of other conditions that you imposed as part of your final plan approval. But the 4 agreements I just mentioned are the ones before you for signature. If you are inclined to sign those documents, you can do so by making one motion.
Okay, I understand that. Mr. Miller, do you have any comments or questions?
No, and I will make a motion to sign the 4 agreements
As well,
as one. Yeah.
thank you, and I would second that motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, you have your motion approved, Solicitor Ellerby.
Mary, will they
Thank
be
you.
in the office tomorrow or?
Yes, we'll be dropping them off in the morning, so they'll probably be in by 9 or 10 o'clock.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Yeah, we'll take care of them tomorrow. Thank you.
I have nothing further to report.
Okay.
Okay, with that, I'll make a motion to approve the solicitor's report as presented.
I'll second.
Thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The solicitor's report is approved as presented. We'll go now to the township manager's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The first thing is the 2022 MMO. In your packet is a memo from the township. It's a calculation of the 2020 MMO required as an estimate of the 2021 wages of the employees covered by the pension plan. There's an attached worksheet that says what the minimum obligation of the township The MMO is $52,186. However, that is offset by state aid that we get. So that is not what the township has to pay, but that is the minimum obligation. The board does not have to take any action. It just has to be reflected in the minutes that the MMO was given to the board.
Thank you.
The next item is authorization to go out to bid for snow plowing. Last year, we had 2 contractors helping us plow. This year, they were unable to do it, so I would like authorization to go out for snow plowing bids.
I will make a motion to authorize the bid to go out for snow plowing.
And I will second that motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so that authorization is approved, Mr. Lippincott.
Thank you. And the last item is authorization to advertise the October 18th, 2021 fire panel meeting, 7 p.m., which will be done virtually. I just need authorization from the board to go out to advertise.
I will make that motion.
I'll second.
Thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so that authorization is also approved, Mr. Lippincott.
Correct. I also wanted to let the board know we had one more applicant come in today for the Conservation Committee. I
Good.
forwarded to the board via email.
Good to know. Thank you.
That's all I have.
Okay, so I will make a motion to approve the Township Manager's report as presented.
I will second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Township Manager's report is approved as presented. We'll now go to old business. Mr. Miller?
I do have some old business. I'd like to give you all an update, if that's okay. Just take a couple minutes of your time. I want to talk about projects we've done and the financial effect of those projects. The Holiday House pool renovation was completed with, to date, it was completed with volunteers, donations, and some existing funds. West Rock Hill did make an extra donation during the year for COVID relief that helped us get past the period last year when we were closed. We also put some money into the Heritage House to shore it up before we leased it to West Rock Hill Historical Society. They in turn have raised thousands of dollars and have made great progress on the renovations. Remember, this building still belongs to West Rock Hill. It is only leased to them, so we do still have a responsibility there. I look forward to hearing from the Historical Society on the progress in the near future. We installed an EV charging station in the park using a $9,000 grant. Use appears to be picking up, and I expect to see a big uptick in 2022 when many new electric vehicle models are rolling out. Also this week, we received a check for $52 for usage for people that have used the charging station already. We made a lot of building improvements this year to the township building for efficiency and for security and for ease of use by our handicapped citizens and people that need to get in to see our tax collector. Our solar array has made headlines as the first in Pennsylvania to produce 100% of municipalities' energy. We paid for the array with funds from the general fund, totaling $169,000. In just 4 months, we've generated 50% of our annual electric usage. This week, we started receiving payments for selling the renewable energy credits. So far, we've received approximately $800, and we expect to see a lot more of those checks coming in. The money gets credited back to an account that we've set up so we can show our return on investment. So how's this affected our finances? As you know, we've been taking measures to cut taxpayer-funded expenses, like, for example, the supervisor health insurance, and those savings are starting to make a difference. I went back and looked at the August 31st, 2015 general and reserve funds, and we had $894,000 at that time. I looked at the same numbers for August 31st of 2021. We have $1,540,000. That's a difference of $646,000 that we have in our funds. That comes out to about an 84% increase. So we are making a difference. We are seeing improvements. We're putting money back into the township, but we're also seeing where we're actually building up money for the future. By the way, it's been said that a lot of this stuff are my pet projects. Well, I just want to clarify that these are not my pet projects. These projects are community projects, and we're trying to put money back into the community so that it's to make everyone's life in West Rock Hill a little better. So that's all I really had to say. Thanks. If there's any questions, I'd be glad to take them.
Okay, continuing under old business, I would just like to say I received my fall newsletter, and I think most of the township should have received it by now after waiting months and months and months for the spring newsletter. So I think our decision to rely on the United States Postal Service was a good one. We discussed this, I think, 2 months ago, and again, I'm pleased that newsletters went out and were received in a fairly prompt timeline.
And I'll add to that, David, I received mine today also.
Great. I got mine Saturday, so it's they're out there. The second thing is, I guess this is for Mr. Lippincott, the Ridge Road sewer project schedule. Do we have any information on where that is?
Not that I know of. It's supposed to start sometime this fall. I thought it would have been started by now. I have not heard anything. I don't know if Steve heard anything.
I've only heard that they're having difficulty getting supplies. As with every other issue these days with COVID, there's supply chain problems, and they're having problem getting some of the fixtures that they need.
All right, thank you. Is there any other old business?
I have none.
I have none. We'll move on to new business. I have no new business to discuss.
I have no new business either.
Okay. With that, we'll move on to public comment. If you have a public comment, please first state your name and address, and you will have 2.5 minutes to speak. Wow. Hearing none, I'll look for a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting and move into executive session.
Well, just before we do, David, Greg, did you receive anything for public comment?
I'm
I
sorry.
did not.
Okay, thank you. All right,
Thank you.
I will make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I will second that motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. We'll consider the meeting adjourned 7:32, 7:33. Thank you.
We almost did as good as the planning commission.
Yep, Chris isn't here.